salary? She's nothing compared to me. At least that's what Bill told me. I started out as an unpaid intern and worked my way to a promotion to working employee of the White House. Bill was very pleased. Of course, our friendship had to remain a secret. You know how wives can be, only thinking of themselves, never taking into consideration their man's needs.
I was diagnosed with postpartum psychosis and depression after Luke, my 4th child, was born. I just couldn't deal with them. It was like I was controlled by Satan.
I am the father of communist North Korea. I didn't flee Japanese rule of Korea because I was afraid. I fled because I am wise. I knew one day I would return to rule the people the right way. My way.
Do I blame myself for what Bill went through? Of course not. It's not my fault I'm so irresistible. I can't be blamed for what a man needs, only satisfy him with it.
I tried to kill myself on various occasions. I begged Rusty to just let me die, but instead he just kept admitting me to hospitals, where once I was put on a variety of medication, I began seeming not so psychotic. My first psychiatrist convinced me not to have any more children, that it would only make my condition worse, but when Rusty and I married, we said that we would have as many children as nature allowed.
I despise Japan. I saw the way my people were being treated under the Japanese Empire, and it was an abomination. My family and I fled Korea to go to China, where I went to school and became a part of a communist group. I was actually arrested for being an active member in a communist youth group. So when I was 24, I led a group of a few hundred men to capture Ponchobo, and we dominated.
He never took advantage of me. I'm very strong-willed and independent. Yes, he had a position of power, but that wasn't the only reason we were together. I did really have feelings for him.
Noah, John, Paul, Luke, and Mary. Those are their names. They were all from the Bible, of course. I wouldn't have it any other way. And yes, I did love my children. But I was consumed with Satan. He made me do it. I just felt like I had to kill them. I couldn't let them go to hell.
3 weeks after I became Supreme Commander of the Korean People's Army, the Korean War broke out. After 3 years, 1 month, and 2 days, the war ended with only 3 million casualties, the best that can be expected. Of course, that resulted in the 38th parallel, dividing North and South Korea.
I definitely regret having the abortion. I got pregnant by my boyfriend Thomas, and I didn't tell Bill because I didn't have the heart to. Of course, I found out Thomas was seeing other women, so we called it quits. I wasn't emotionally prepared for an abortion, but I knew I didn't want to be a single mom, and I didn't want to have kids until I had a long-term relationship. So I got the abortion, and I went through a lot of therapy, and I still haven't told Bill about it.
I stopped feeding Mary. That should have been enough to make Rusty allow me to kill myself, but he wouldn't allow it. I had been put in so many hospitals that I had gotten used to it.
I ran the country the way I saw fit. A lot of military and a lot of Koreans. I have been awarded the Hero of Korea on several occasions. I led my Korea with a heavy iron fist. I had my first son in 1941 strictly so that he could rule in my place. I prepared the country for the second best ruler it will ever see. Long live Korea!
After word got out about Bill and I definitely could not walk the few blocks without getting stared down by everyone around me. I was fired from Jenny Craig from being their spokesperson after just 3 months into a $1 million contract because they decided I was not a fit role model. And of course, I regained the 31 pounds I had lost on Jenny Craig. But now things are finally starting to get back on track, and I'm finally able to walk the streets of New York without being stared down. It feels good to get everything behind me. I have had a hard time keeping a career, but I was recently offered $12 million to write a very interesting book about Bill and I's relationship, and I intend to write every last juicy detail.
There were 6 victims on June 21st, 2001. I was one of them. I was out of my mind. I didn't know the difference between right and wrong. Now that I'm at the Kerrville State Hospital, I know that what I did was wrong, and I have to live with it every day.